is Marie. I'm a volunteer here with the ISC2 New Jersey Chapter, and I'm here with my fellow volunteer, Alex. Hi, Alex.
Hi, it's so great to see you again, Marie.
Thank you for being here with me, Alex, for this first episode of our mini podcast series called Volunteer Chatter.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for having me on.
And it's so nice to see you at the conference this week.
Likewise. The feeling's completely mutual. It was great to be back in the big city again.
So, Alex, what was your favorite moment from the conference this week?
There were so many to count, honestly. It was wonderful to see all the chapter members again in person. Did you know that we had a booth at the conference?
Yep.
And the panels were awesome. I really enjoyed listening to all of them. I think that the overarching theme was really just like the future of cyber. So it was so exciting. But I think the most memorable for me was there was this one booth that on the table you just saw this like herd of blue cats, and it was so adorable. I instantly fell in love.
That's awesome. I think for me, my favorite moment was attending the cyber incident masterclass, and there was a topic and a conversation around the need for communication and transparency when there is an issue, and how important that is, the impact that that makes on reputation, on trust, which is everything these days, as we know in the cybersecurity field. That was amazing. It was such a good discussion.
I couldn't agree more, and you're right. Trust is so important, especially in what we do every day.
When I come to these events, Alex, it gets me thinking. I start to go down memory lane, and I start to think about how did I end up in cyber? How did I get here? I start thinking about my journey and all my accomplishments and everything, and the challenges along the way. So I'm curious to hear about what your journey was like and how you got into cyber.
Oh, wow. You just brought me back down memory lane. So I've been in IT for a very long time. I actually started out when I was very young. I live in Union City in New Jersey. And growing up here, we had access to a lot of different pilot programs because we were in an urban enterprise zone and we were considered a, disadvantaged community. So, between local government initiatives and whatnot, we had a lot of pilot programs that came here. And I happened to take advantage of one of those pilot programs, and it was called the Teen Tech Initiative. So what they did was, during that time, they were transitioning a lot of these like trade classes. So, your typical, your wood shop, your auto shop, even your home ex. They were kind of being phased out to be more in favor of things in technology. So I took advantage of one of those pilot programs, and essentially what you did was you were learning about computers, you were learning how to do troubleshooting and whatnot, and you would be a paid intern and you would shadow the technologists who worked for the school and be essentially their little helpers. It was such a wonderful experience. I kind of turned that into my career and found myself, through this long tenure, essentially doing a lot of different tasks. And during the time of the pandemic, a lot of people lost their jobs, myself included. And at that point, I found myself having to kind of take a look back, look at all my experience and say, you know what, a lot of these things that I've done were in cyber. It's just, I didn't see myself as cyber because cyber wasn't really in the name. And at that point, I decided it was time to reinvent myself. So I was doing a lot of research, and that's kind of how I discovered ISC2, because they were, right now at that point in time, they announced their initiative called 1 Million Certified, and they wanted to kind of bring cybersecurity to everybody, and they wanted to kind of fill in that job role and fill in the need for talent. So I was very fortunate to take advantage of that. I got certified in cyber, and at that point, that's kind of how I came to the chapter. I joined my local chapter, and I have been so moved by everything that's been going on at this chapter that I felt so inclined to be an active member of it. So a long journey from what was essentially a community initiative to improve the community to kind of go full circle to be now part of another community that brings me so much more closer to helping people, because in the end of the day, we live our lives digitally, and cybersecurity is for everybody.
I couldn't agree more, Alex. And I think I'm kind of on a similar path, right? I think a very non-traditional, right, approach or forward way to cybersecurity. I graduated high school thinking I was going to be a journalist for the rest of my life. So I ended up enrolling into into NJIT, which is predominantly known for engineering and architecture, and I pursued a degree in neither of those things, rather in communications and media arts. And I did that for 4 years and graduated, got a job doing video editing because I thought, hey, I'm going to be a video editor now because journalism's nice and all, but I'll be a video editor for the rest of my life. And I got that role, and it kind of took the fun away from me because it was really more of a hobby, and I was like, this is not a professional career. Also, it took the fun out of it. So why would I do that? So that kind of took me back to the drawing board, and I ended up, getting into different roles in IT and tech and content analyst this and help desk analyst that, and business process specialist and compliance. And that's really how I ended up running our security certification programs. And that's really how I ended up in cyber, was having that experience and that exposure, and um, doing what I love to do best, and running programs and bringing people together. Um, and yeah, I mean, I look back at it and I'm grateful for the journey. And I love that everyone I've met in cyber, since I got into cyber, since I joined the chapter as well, everyone I've met is very ambitious and they love to help others, right? We love to help ourselves. We love to improve ourselves and grow and learn and improve every single day. But we also love to give our time back to the community and to others, and especially within our own chapter, to our own volunteers and to even students that have joined the chapter, right? And all the great opportunities we try to create for them. And I'll just say one last thing too. As you said, cyber is for everyone. I speak to people who are interested in getting into cyber. They don't come from that sort of technical background. They're kind of like nervous about it. And I say, well, look, we need everybody, right? Cybersecurity is no longer programmers. It's no longer just engineers. We need every single perspective, every single background, technical, non-technical. And ultimately, that's the best way for us, because you ultimately lower your risk profile that way when you have multiple perspectives and different viewpoints, right? Looking at things and identifying risk and assessing risk, right? So that's why I tell everybody, we need everyone. There's something here for you. We just have to find what that is. And we're a great community of people that love to learn and train each other. And there's a lot of information out there that we can use to improve ourselves and improve others. And I'm just so lucky to be here. I'm so happy to be here. I'm so happy I joined the chapter only in April, right? So I'm not as long as you've been in the chapter, Alex. But the short time I've had here has been really valuable for me.
Of course, I completely agree that being a part of the chapter has been so incredibly life changing and whatnot. And of course, we're happy to have you. My life has changed completely since I've been at the chapter. Believe it or not, I've only really been a member for about a year or so, and it's been, like I said, such an incredible journey. And I really do agree with you that being able to bring this to the masses has been not only a need, but it's a necessity. You know what I mean? And I appreciate that so much. And that's why I'm so empowered to continuously help the chapter reach to new audiences and whatnot. Because in the end of the day, what's really fantastic about what we do and cyber and all is that it's completely inclusive. And with that said, I think I only really have one question for you. Now that you're kind of helping us with content and whatnot, is it fun again?
Of course it's fun again, and this is a great way for me to flex the right side of my brain, because I use my left side every day at work. So it's good to have a balance, right? And you get to use both sides of you can be the creative and you can be the analytical, and so this has definitely been a really valuable experience being part of the podcast committee. Starting the Jersey Girls in Cyber series. Obviously, this mini series, Volunteer Chatter, has been awesome. And, like you said, being able to, record content live on the spot like we did at the conference this week, that was amazing. That was a lot of fun.
It totally was. And I think that's kind of what I really love about what we do, because not only are we doing the classes and whatnot, because we do, the chapter does a lot of training. Like recently we did an on-site training where we were talking about risk and the risk management framework. So we definitely like to work hard and we play hard. And like I said, that's just what's so wonderful about being a part of the chapter.
Couldn't agree more, Alex. Thank you so much for being here with me today. So I'm curious, what is up next for the chapter? What are some events that are coming up that people should know about?
Sure. So what's really great about what we do is that, we are based out of New Jersey, but we're not exclusive to New Jersey. So we do focus on-site events, but we also do a lot of online. So, we have a Discord. We're available on all types of different social media platforms. We are obviously right now working on this podcast as we speak to try to get it out there for everybody. But for some of the local events, right now we have coming up in Jersey City is at St. Peter's University. We're going to be hosting our first Capture the Flag event, or as we lovingly like to call it, the CTF. And the CTF is going to be there for pretty much everybody. It's going to be available for novices, so you don't have to be an expert at penetration testing or hack the box activities. It's open for novices to come and learn to experience what is just so fun about doing a CTF. So that's going to be October 27th at St. Peter's University in Jersey City. We hope to see you there. And as for digital events, the next one that we have available is actually going to be a chapter meeting. You don't have to be a member to attend one of our meetings. So if you're on the fence and you just want to know a little bit more about what we do, please join us. You can find us at Eventbrite. And that event is going to be on October 24th. And it starts at 6 p.m. and it's over Zoom. EST, by the way, for our folks who are outside of the Eastern Standard Time Zone. And if you want to know more, give us a comment below. Thank you again.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Alex. Have a great one. I'll talk to you soon.
You as well.
Bye.
Likewise.